Hey, welcome. It's a special episode of BSing today. Why? I don't know, but it's not going to be commercial free, and there's a reason for that. We have Tony, we have Jake, we have Jen, we have Danny Dwyer, we have myself, and we're here for another round of BSing.
Yes.
I like this.
Now, I'll get to the commercial free part in a minute. We're going to talk about ad campaigns because this Gillette thing. Do we want to go ahead and start with that? I mean, is that
Might as well.
okay?
Sure.
Since I already brought it up, this Gillette ad is sentimental, it's touching, it's powerful, and to some people controversial, which blows my mind. Is that the consensus of the room? Like, why would this ever be?
You have to look hard for the controversy.
Well, no, you have to look hard in yourself if you're offended by this ad, because you might be a reason that this ad exists. Right. Like, you're part of the problem if you have an issue with this. My 2 cents worth. That's my opinion, not the opinion of 98.7 The Bull or Alpha Media.
Right. When I put it on Facebook, the thing that one lady said, and I thought it was kind of a good point, she goes, do some men get upset with being lumped in with all men? Kind of like,
Definitely.
It's almost like it's a stereo. Like, now there's this stereotype that all men
are dogs.
Look at women and as only sexual objects, and we don't think they deserve equal pay, and when in reality, I don't think that's how I know that's not the case. Well, Jake's the biggest feminist I know.
No, but you're right though. That is a valid reaction to it. But you're going too far with your rebuttal. Is the point?
Sure,
they're not talking about you.
Yeah,
but
you need to recognize that.
I think it's fair to say that while all men aren't the problem, all men have to be part of the solution.
Yep.
How we're raising our kids, how we're speaking up when we hear something or see something that just isn't right.
Right.
I think there's been too much looking the other way by men who are good and seeing this stuff. And I think that's where we can all make a difference. And I think that's what Gillette's trying to say. And, man, when they had that scene with the dad, and talking to his daughter in the mirror, like, dude, that
was pretty powerful.
Man, that hit me right between the eyes.
You're really pushing me to say something extremely political that just hit me the other day, but I'll refrain.
I don't even know where that's going, and I don't even want to open up Pandora's box.
It has to do with our current president. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I think we all just figured out what your comment was without you having to say it.
Well,
I will digress. And
it was more about a comment that he made.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Did he know a tape was rolling? Is that the one you're talking about?
That's
one of the other.
Well, that one and
can I be honest? And that's just me speaking from my heart personally. That just hit me last night at dinner. That what he was caught saying on tape and was elected president of the United States.
Yeah.
So and listen, I'm not going to go too far into the politics of that. But what message does that send to my daughters? What message does that send to the women of the United States? That we will vote for someone who made a statement about grabbing a woman in the crotch.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. What is that?
I voted for the man, and it didn't hit me until last night that I would have to look at my daughters and say, I voted for a man who said that, and I knew it.
Right.
Well,
and I was like, holy crap. Now, this is me, talking on me, not judging anybody else. This is me judging me.
Look,
you know what I'm saying?
I applaud Gillette for taking this conversation to a new level.
Yeah.
Because having it from the man's point of view and what we can do to affect change and not making it about selling razors. Look, there wasn't one product placement in there. There wasn't anything about the razors. There wasn't anything about the brand other than the core value that they're trying to reflect. And I thought that I applaud them for doing it, and I hope more brands speak up and speak out on this subject matter. This kind of got a little heavy.
I'm sorry.
I'll bring it up.
Leave it up to me.
It's
my fault.
I'll lift it up a little bit.
So well, hold on. Let's finish. I want to go.
Maybe not interrupt Jen right now.
Jen, you go right ahead.
Go for it.
It's on the same topic.
If you could have seen Jake's look to Mojo, it was classic.
He's got a great point. Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Well, in fairness, we interrupt everybody. We're equal opportunity on that.
Yeah. No, it's along this same Gillette line.
Oh, okay.
The commercial was great. I just have one request to Gillette, that they would please make their Venus razors for women as cheap as the men's razors.
Yeah,
They're
equal price matters.
I seriously looked it up. on like Target and Amazon, like to order, like as if I was going to order these razors. And we talked about this a little bit earlier today, that when you go to order a 4-pack of the 5-blade, and this isn't like the fancy soap ring moisturizer gold bar handle.
It's the same razor, right?
It's just the 5-blade
pink
Venus razor that's pink or yellow or whatever. And it costs $20 for a 4-pack of those.
Whoa.
For the exact same 5-blade razor that they make for guys, it's $24 for an 8-pack.
Yeah, that's... Why don't you just buy the guy razor?
I do.
And they're going to make a little
on that. Is there anything special about, different in how they make the other?
I don't know,
like
but I'd love to buy a pink razor and not a silver and green one.
They're going to have to they're going to have to respond to that though, because there's enough people saying it.
There's enough women who figured it out and went.
It's not a new complaint though, like that.
It's been a complaint for a long time that women's razors seem to be more expensive.
Something tells me.
Unless they have a really good explanation.
And I don't know if you noticed lately too, but Gillette has done some serious advertising because the commercial they did with Shaquem Griffin from the Seahawks, they really pumped that up from him and his brother growing up together with Shaquem having one hand playing in the NFL. They did that as a great campaign as well. Yeah. That, I was like, whoa, that was powerful. So they've done some serious advertising, and whoever they're having do their stuff for them right now is literally grabbing everybody by their heartstrings.
It's kind of a good time in my life. I'm a little older than you guys. I've never seen a time where social justice, and I know it rubs some people the wrong way because it
does go too far sometimes.
It goes too far, but we're living in a time where everybody is a little over the top, but also a lot of good stuff's happening.
Yeah.
A lot of really good things.
I'd love to see R. Kelly behind bars, but until then.
Oh, yes. Don't even get me started talking.
Yeah. That's a whole other story.
He will be. I think that's out there.
But, I think an effective ad campaign that you actually want to share and goes viral because of the content of it is powerful. What other ad campaigns come to mind that had that kind of a passion point? Maybe not necessarily aligning themselves with a social issue, but made you go, oh, that's funny or that's cute, like those Super Bowl ads. We've seen some great ones before.
I love this one. I've used it. Jake will attest. I have used this one
I thought about you the other day because of this one.
Right. Oh, I've used this for years. Guess what day it is?
Oh, it's my
guess
favorite.
what day it is?
They still run those.
Actually, if you've noticed, they're bringing them back. Like it was gone for a while. Then they started bringing the caveman back thing. Yeah, hey, come on, Jay. What day is it?
Yeah.
It's hump day. Oh, that's awesome. I don't care.
When you did that, my heart just felt with joy.
Right.
I love that.
That aired during the Pats game this last weekend.
It did,
and I almost texted you because I laughed. Like it's a funny ad.
It is, and I never see a camel just walking through an office. I thought it was hysterical.
No, you don't.
To this day,
does anybody top that one?
I don't know.
You might have hit us with the zinger right out of the gate.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, there was one. This is the one that popped in my head when you said it was.
Don't
tell me.
Oh yeah,
we all did it.
Yep.
For a month and a half afterward, every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was funny. It sticks out in my head. Because Budweiser is classically been like the best.
The Clydesdales, obviously.
Sure.
All right, I'll go ahead and show my age and cater to the audience over 75. No,
I've fallen.
Spuds.
You stole it.
No, how about the Spuds McKenzie, the party animal,
the
little dog?
I have one thing from my childhood that I still have, and it's a statue of Spuds McKenzie. Now, one eye's missing now, and the bandana's not there anymore, the original party animal. But my kids love that thing.
Jen, who is Spuds McKenzie?
Oh, geez.
Oh, that was shot me.
Who is it?
Because that was 80.
84,
okay,
85.
84 to 88.
Dog?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Good guess.
Nice job.
In fact, I saw a guy walking Spuds McKenzie last night. I was like, whoa. And that's how I relate to that dog.
What fast food company, Jen, coined the phrase, where's the beef?
Oh, she's got that.
Oh.
Does she, though?
That's another
Does she,
great
though?
one.
That's when I came to mind.
Lady on that
Wendy's?
commercial made it.
Very good.
Yeah.
You're just guessing. You got lucky on that.
No.
Which pizza company warned you to avoid the Noid?
Oh yeah.
Come on, everybody in this room knows what Jen.
Little Caesars?
No.
No, that would be Pizza.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, yes, you
You
do.
don't remember Avoid the Noid?
I can't remember. What is
Domino's.
it?
Domino's Pizza.
Oh yeah, I don't.
He was
think
like
we,
that
I don't
little
think we got
alien dude.
Domino's until 2006 in West Virginia.
Okay. Wow.
They couldn't guarantee the 30-minute delivery with y'all's timetable.
Yeah.
And the ad campaign they ran there was ding 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 ding.
Hey,
I really like
the guy from Texas talking
I
trash.
like the Lincoln commercials with
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
True
Yeah.
story. I sold Fords. I know that's hard to believe. I have a story for this. I was selling Ford and Lincolns between jobs, and when those commercials came on, they saw a surge in selling Lincolns. Now I got to tell you, when I first saw it, I thought it was catering to men. This is how goofy I am. I thought they're wanting guys to think, oh, it's cool to drive a Lincoln. They said, oh no. We knew women loved Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
And that was who was coming in.
To buy the cars?
The women to buy
Yeah.
those Lincolns. Yeah.
No,
Great play
it
on their
was
part.
They wanted a younger demographic because Lincoln was becoming the car for your
Older
grandparents.
folks, like
Yeah.
Buick and Lincoln and so on and so forth. Right.
Nice looking ride.
Well, they
Yeah.
paint they paint this picture that you are just so like
Classy.
put together and
Yeah.
classy and very suave and like
Yeah.
you get this feeling, and he's
like
so
Mark Chase.
smooth.
He is smooth.
If you
Yeah.
notice in all those commercials, every turn he makes, it's all right, all right, all
Oh,
right.
jeez.
Oh boy.
Cheapened it.
I also
You know, he has one from 2000. He keeps getting older, but it stays the same.
Oh,
age.
God.
I also really like, and this is we were just talking about like Gillette and men
going in circles
and
'cause he
women and stuff.
Right.
But I still love the Carl's Jr. commercial with is it Jenna, the blonde chick in the burger, and she's like in a bikini and the barbecue
like the
sauce.
barbecue
Jessica
Zipping
Simpson
all
did that
over.
once too, I think.
Oh.
I think it
I
was
just
Jessica Simpson.
freaking love that commercial.
bring
Like
up Jessica
nothing
Simpson.
made you want to eat a burger more.
That wasn't
You know,
aimed at you at all. though,
That wasn't
Jen.
targeted towards men either. That was targeted toward women. See, look.
Wait, which one are we talking about?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I'm still with Jessica Simpson. What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Right.
But you know what I mean? The girl in like the
Right.
cut off shorts and the bikini, she's eating this like
Oh, yeah.
huge.
She's on the-
Funny, you're the
sausage.
one bringing that up. All we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we show a clip?
And I'm not
Interesting.
trying
Like that
to
Farrah Fawcett poster I
objectify
had
women
hanging up.
because now I'm
Okay.
going like
Well, I wasn't
50
gonna
years
bring that one up.
backwards.
What do
but,
women think when they see an ad like that?
well, like we think it's pretty silly and dumb or whatever, but then we think, man, she looks really good in those shorts, and I wish I looked that good in a bikini top, and I really want that burger, but I can't if I want to look like her.
Wait, one request. Carl
that's a
Jr.,
lot
can we
going on
get
in
one of
there.
those with the Beyond Burger you're serving now?
Uh-huh.
Get the
Oh,
vegan angle.
yeah, no. Well, yes,
'Cause
those
then you're
are
more
really
likely to
good.
keep
But
a
Carl's
body like
Jr., I
that.
want
It'd
just
probably
a
be
regular
somebody from
burger.
PETA in the background going, yes!
High-fiving each other.
That would
Yeah,
actually,
baby.
That would actually be good.
Right?
That's a good
It's
idea,
smart on their
actually.
part. But I like the fact that Matthew McConaughey, because he is such a great actor, but the fact that they use him for so many different things because Carl's Jr. is using him also for their new ads.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so they're like if you haven't even recognized it, but I had to rewind it a couple times to really realize that it was
It's him. Oh, yeah.
Like they're slicing and dicing the onions and they're falling and there's crisp lettuce and there's water spraying out of it and then
And
there's
he's got a
cheese
shirt off?
melting.
Yeah.
No,
No?
and then he's
Okay.
like,
He's
then
just
it
the
talks
voice.
about the burger's only
Oh.
$2.49 and he goes, holy crap! and it was like
to look for that
awesome.
one.
Yeah, so it's a really good one.
So he's
It's
just
cool.
the voice. He's not even in
He's
it?
just the voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
See,
wow.
commercials can be fun. See?
Yeah.
Let's go with you, Danny. What do you have today?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you haven't heard by the news already, this past 5-6 days I have been totally stressed out to the point where like I was not paying attention to even like small things with my family. Like I almost got in an accident the other night driving home
Looking for your wallet?
looking for my wallet because I was so stressed. I mean, there was no money in it. The fact that I just had
Oh, we
my,
know you're in radio.
yeah, well, yeah, there's no money. But the fact was I had like my Home Depot card, my Lowe's card. I had a Citibank card as an emergency card in there.
Right.
And I had my my conceal license to carry in there. And I'm like, okay, that was the thing I was worried about. Like it's got my information in it. Doesn't have my social number. But for the past couple of days, like I have literally been sideways, like not paying attention. Like Kimmy said to me at dinner the night, did you do this? Did you do that? And I was like, huh, what?
Sounds like you need to adjust your focus word this year to mine.
Man, I
Focus.
do. It was crazy. I was
Man.
literally like, if I had hair, I'd be pulling out of my head.
It sucks if
So-
you lose your wallet. Like
so
that's
what caused it?
stressful.
Well,
and then
Do we know
and
the
then,
source?
And then let's end with who found it.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
this was the funny thing.
Yeah.
So it started Thursday because I'm booking a 15-year anniversary vacation for my wife and I to the Bahamas.
I knew it, CJ. I
so-
told you it was Bahamas.
Yes. So I went to Costco
That's
to upgrade
exciting.
my card because if you become a Costco and you do, it's much cheaper and much easier to go through them. So I had done that. But on Friday, we had a chili cook-off here at the station. And I literally was at Costco and at Winco buying all the stuff for the chili cook-off.
And he almost won, I might add.
Second place.
Second place.
Yeah.
High five there.
It was good.
You know who didn't win? 7th floor.
Yeah, ooh, take that. But I had literally thrown like the whipping cream, the sour cream, the cheese, and all this stuff in one bag. Well, I didn't want my wallet to get wet because in case the chicken melted or whatever. So I took it out and I set it on this little Jason Aldean stand-up that I have in the office. And literally...
In his office.
Yeah, in my office.
In his own office.
2 feet
Which
from
is
my
also
head.
creepy, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Right. 2 feet from my head.
You could have reached out your arm and touched it.
But the scary, and I had done a meeting for St. Jude. We're talking about the golf tournament, getting that ready to go. So I had all this stuff in my mind, chili, all these different things, and I literally sat it on top of this stand-up. And I started freaking. Like Sunday night, I was like, where's my wallet? Monday, I was losing my mind. It was the worst feeling ever. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got to cancel credit cards. I got to do all this stuff. What was in there? Was there anything in there important that I need? I don't really carry anything important in there because of that. But then yesterday afternoon, the door slowly cracks open. I keep thinking, uh-oh, here comes something. It's sweet little Jen and her big eyes. She says, guess what?
Little Jen, big eyes.
I found your wallet. I'm like, shut up. You did not. It's not here. It's in the laundry. Have you seen the commercial where the kid takes the guy's wallet and he throws it down the laundry trap?
Yeah.
And the guy goes to the pharmacy to go get his meds, and the new med company is like, oh, don't worry, you're covered. We got it this time for free. They do that now. So I kept thinking to myself, my wallet's in my laundry somewhere.
Hold on. If any kid ever throws my wallet down a chute, we're going to have
the laundry trouble. Right. So Jenny says, I found your wallet. And she took me by the hand, walked me to my office, and basically saved my day. So I'm taking you to lunch.
Completely
not the
brightened
best
his
feeling?
day.
Oh.
That was such a great.
Like, you have no idea. Like, it literally changed my day. I was excited. I was pumping out music.
That
It
is
was
stressful.
awesome.
It's
It was the
best.
worst.
Whoa, real quick, round the room. Would you rather lose your phone or your wallet?
Wallet.
Phone.
Just buy a new phone.
Really?
Yeah, my phone.
I mean, it sucks, but
Nothing in my wallet is worth more than my phone.
The inconvenience in the
Nine
interim,
trips.
though.
I could totally lose my wallet.
I agree. I'd lose my wallet. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
You can replace all that too.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a date last night, and I was getting ready to go. I stopped at the store. I was getting just some Gatorade, and I went to pay. I'm like, and I'm on my way there. Can't find my debit card anywhere.
Right.
I'm like, you can't start the first date with I can't pay.
Right, no.
It's down over
No,
there.
save that for the second.
So props to U.S. Bank. I went right. I went down there. They made me a temporary card right
away.
there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've been with them
nice.
since 1999. They're super great.
And am I stupid? Let me know because they said, "Do you want us to cancel the card?"
yeah, what'd you say?
I said no.
Damn.
Did you find it?
Tony.
I don't because I know where I think it's in my car somewhere. I used it. The last place I used it was McDonald's drive-thru. So the guy handed it back to me, right?
Sure.
And I haven't found it since then.
So it's probably just slipped in a little slot between the
if
seats.
they cancel it, then I got to remember. Okay, who?
Right.
Has that
Amazon
number?
Yeah,
Prime,
that's the worst.
Netflix.
Yes. I just changed
I
credit
didn't even
cards. That is
think of
such
that.
a headache to have to go set up all those automatic bills.
It is.
You know what's a bigger headache though? Somebody uses.
Yeah,
starts
well,
using
sure.
it all.
Yeah,
Sure.
it sucks.
I
But
didn't
it's
even see
yours,
that.
so how much could they use?
No, it was yesterday. Was payday.
Oh,
so
no.
They had a 5-minute window where they could rack it up.
See?
Walmart, here we come.
And you made fun of Jen only using cash. Maybe Jen is the wise one over
Well,
here.
oh, come on.
What do you mean,
if I'm
maybe?
losing my wallet, I'm losing my debit card.
Well,
For me
that's
to carry
true.
cash would be a nightmare. So.
That's a good point.
True.
You can't replace
Anyway.
cash like you can a card. That's
Yeah.
true.
That's true.
Well, let's talk about Jen's then.
Yeah. Jen, what do you got?
Cash.
Oh.
I get looks, and I know that me and Spencer both get looks, but I didn't realize how much until I was at Target a couple days ago, and my tab was like $118. So
Jeez, what'd you buy? You just went in there for bananas and came out with a $118 bill.
It was those Venus razors.
No,
You just bought 2 packs.
no, it was just that was straight
I
out of
stocked
the
up
deli.
on
Yeah.
baby formula.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy, that's
Yeah.
expensive.
That'll add up. But sometimes Target does these cool things where if you buy so much baby stuff, they give you a gift card for like $20.
Oh, that's
that's
cool.
cool.
And then you just put it towards the next time they have that coupon again.
Yeah.
So I was $118 paid in all cash, and the guy behind me, who was like my dad's age, who's like 65,
Well,
and
what's that?
I'm used to watching my dad pay with cash too. And he kind of gives me this like side look, like, she's paying for all that in cash.
Gosh, I ain't seen that in a minute.
Right. Or they're like, oh, she must sell drugs.
Like, I felt a little bit judged, but then I realized people are very impatient because they give you your change, and I have to slide the change into like a coin part of the purse.
Sure.
And then put my cash in a different part.
And do you have to rearrange the cash so the bills are all facing the same way?
Yes.
You? Jake? Danny?
Yeah,
Tony?
absolutely.
No. So here's the thing.
He's never had 2 bills.
No. Yeah.
It's always a 5 or
How
a
do you
10.
organize something you don't have?
He sees those slot machines in the bars, and it's like, forget it.
Yeah, that's where you can find all mine organized. so here's the thing, though, Jen. So, like, okay, they're giving you your change. At that moment, you can step forward.
Get the hell out of the way.
And get out of the way, and then start putting your change away.
True.
But the way, sorry, Target, in Kaiser, the way that their checkout like stands are set up, the belt goes all the way almost up to where the higher counter thing is, where you can set your bag on. And so if you move up, then you're out of like somewhere to set your bag.
Right, you have nowhere else to go.
And the bags are right. It's a very awkward setup.
It's a
So I
dilemma.
had to kind of stay there. And I was like moving the stroller with Bridger in it and like trying to sort of step out of the way and still get my
if you
cash.
were trying to step out of the way, you're in the clear. But if you're just standing there occupying space.
No, I wasn't like trying to be like,
This is my spot.
I am here, Jen, stay. Like I was trying to move out of the way, but the guy was like encroaching, like it's my turn, and the lady started ringing up his stuff and setting it in like the space where my bags still were.
Yeah.
I didn't even grab
Boy,
my
that's-
bag yet.
That's a dead sign that they want you to hurry
I
up.
know. I felt like I was being like, "Hey, lady, you didn't pay the card. Let's go." Like that's how I felt.
Right. Have you ever shopped
Cash
at
is
Winco?
just as
It's the
good.
same thing.
And by the way, cash doesn't have a fee on it like a card has. So Target, you're welcome. You didn't have to just pay
That's a good point.
3% of my bill towards MasterCard or wherever.
Right.
You know?
Very
Right.
true.
And it's still not worse than checks. I heard Tony mention that this morning on my favorite morning show, Tony, Jake, and Jen, mornings on 98.7 The Bull. Checks are like the if you see somebody pull out a check, you're like, I'm moving to another line. Forget this.
I've done that. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I
Like, no,
have
who
to
does
be
this
real-
anymore?
And they're like, can I write it for 20 over? No, you can't write it for 20 over. Hurry up.
I have to be real
Sorry.
careful, as like Jake will tell you every morning that he hears me. He knows I'm here because he'll hear. Because I'm just a griper. I grunt. You know, I'm a griper.
You?
And so I have to be real careful when I'm behind those people like Jen,
Right.
that I don't make it obvious that I'm frustrated. So I'm this guy. Hey, I'm like smiling because I'm afraid I'm going to go. Oh,
Hurry up. All right.
So I feel like when we go out to restaurants, we pay with cash. Like if I have to grab some like toilet paper at Walmart or whatever, like I always pay cash for that stuff, and I never see other people pulling out cash for that. And I there's like not many people who still do that. Like I must be the only one still using cash for stuff.
What is Dave Ramsey's plan? And by the way, you can hear him on our sister station, Freedom 970.
And
on KXL.
And on KXL on the weekends now, too. What is Dave Ramsey's plan for things that won't take cash? Like, say you want to hop on TriMet.
Well, I mean,
What's-
He believes in debit
Debit,
cards,
right?
right?
so, yeah, you can still use your debit card and
You
stuff.
just have
for
to be old
things
school
like
and
that.
write it out and put your spreadsheet together.
Yeah.
For it.
Do you know where it's a big deal? And he would disagree with me. And let's face it, he's kind of smarter than me.
Oh, no.
Here's the tough part: when you go to rent a car.
Oh.
you got to have a credit card, right?
Yeah.
I
well,
very much found this out.
You can use
once.
a debit. Sometimes you can use a debit card, but you better have the money because they're going to put a deposit on
Right.
there.
Right.
And so if you're,
Some places won't let you use a debit, period.
yeah,
I went through that when I rented a car last time I went down to see my kids, and there was this guy in front of me. He was just yelling at this guy, and I'm like, dude, it's their policy. Move on. It's worse than somebody with cash. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you know what what I personally did is I got a credit card, but I make sure like it's a low limit, so you can't
It's
get
got
your
a $17 limit.
yeah
$20?
It's like,
Max it out.
literally. But you know what? Here's what they did to me though. It's $1,000 limit, and like right off the bat, I made my first payment
They're
early.
like, "Ooh,
You paid it
this
off.
guy's trustworthy."
Yeah.
They gave me that. I get this thing. We gave you an increase in your limit.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it is.
So that goes back to what Ramsey would say: is the credit card companies, they want to suck you in.
Sure.
You
Well,
got
yeah.
you got to hold. You got to.
But there's also a good point to this, because good on you for paying the cash, because then you already know, like, you're debt free. Like, hey, I got the money to do it. I'm just going to do it. You're not going to sit there and look at your statements and everything else.
I envy you in that. I really wish I could do that.
I totally
doing it right.
I'm not disciplined enough.
I just hate carrying cash, because every now and then, like, if you lose your wallet, there's a handful of cash in there.
You give cash, guess what you have to get back? Coins.
Change.
Right. Yeah,
and there's nothing worse than having change in your pocket rattling around all day. I hate it.
Okay, Jen, can we do this one real quick too? Yeah. Argue about this part, the Dave Ramsey himself part.
Oh yes, this was we had a long conversation about this.
We won't spend too long on this because we went forever on it.
And let me preface it by saying Dave Ramsey's now worth $50 million. Okay,
should we?
That's it.
That's important.
I would guess more.
That's important. Yeah, he might be. That's probably an underestimate. But just remember that
that's
as you
all
listen.
Liquid, though.
Listen to the argument.
Good point. It's all cash.
This is the question that we talked about this morning, and we should probably explain who he is. He's a financial whiz. He's an advisor. He's a radio personality. Yeah, he teaches people how to become, and Jen is a disciple of it.
Financial peace.
Here's the question, and Tony and I have already weighed in, Mojo and Danny. Does Dave Ramsey himself use a debit card?
Oh, I'm sure.
I would imagine he does.
Do you think he
Jen doesn't think so.
I never disagreed that he uses a debit card, because for
like instead of cash.
No, yeah, because for some stuff, you can still use your debit card. You just plan it that way. But, like, if you have cash envelopes with I think Dave Ramsey still goes to the grocery store with cash.
With envelopes, even, you said.
Yeah.
I'm about to change the way everyone thinks about this. Maybe.
All right.
Do you think that boasting that you are cash carrying Jen, and Dave for that matter, does that make you a target?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Never mind all that.
I think it does.
Never mind all that. What do you think?
No one's gonna wait
I think
for
he
her.
carries it. Yeah, I think he carries debit. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you think he walks in with envelopes still?
Okay, so let's explain that real quick.
He's a target that way.
Dave Ramsey says, all right, so you get these envelopes together, and Jen, what would the envelopes would say? Groceries, entertainment, what else?
You can pick whatever you want your envelopes to say, but for us,
do you have one that says Safeway Chinese food or Nuggies?
Yeah.
It's too big.
Because this is important for people to it's important for people to understand. He says this is a good way of you set up your budget, and so you say this month I'm going to spend $800 on groceries. Let's say not me, but if you're a big family,
yeah,
and so you put $800 in that envelope. You can't spend any more than that. So you can, as you're going through it, you can budget because you see how much you have left, and so you have several envelopes: entertainment, groceries,
non-grocery,
taxes.
Who knows what else? Maybe
hair,
karate lessons.
baby,
Who knows?
Right.
baby products.
We're not litigating that it's a great system.
So,
it is a great system.
But
Jake making fun of it.
Jake and I don't believe he carries the envelopes anymore. We're like, we believe that he teaches people to use the envelopes early on so that they can get to where he is and not have to worry about the envelopes.
The whole point is to pay with cash, not credit.
Here's how it goes down for Dave Ramsey. You ready for this? He's worth $50 million. First of all, he's not grocery shopping. Let's be perfectly honest. He has a housemaid and a butler, and they're shopping for him.
Maybe not. I bet he doesn't.
He does not go. He does not grocery shop.
I bet he does.
No, he does not. But I will tell you what he does do. He will go to Portland's Ruth Chris and pay cash for a nice $3,000 dinner. That's what he will do.
Not with bills.
Yes.
No
Do you know how
way.
many bills that would take? He'd have fat pockets walking in there.
I've seen it before.
He's not carrying around
Big and Rich did it.
$1,000.
Why?
That's a.
I would love to.
That's like a brick, man.
But okay,
Man,
then
that would
again,
be awesome.
But then again, he's not walking alone. He's probably got a security team with him.
Maybe not.
I'm just
We'll
saying.
find out. He might come to
Big
Portland
I'll
this year.
use Big and Rich as an example. I went to dinner with them one time. I'll
here we
never
go.
forget this at Morton's downstairs.
Did they
came to
walk
town.
into the room passing out $100 bills?
Yeah, waving money.
If not, I feel lied to.
I have never seen anything like this in my life, and I was like, holy cow, I want to become a rock star. But literally, they did this huge dinner. The bill itself was like, I think it was like $3,600 because they were drinking shots of cognac and wine. The one bottle of wine they bought was like $400.
Yeah.
And John Rich was just handing out hundreds. I was like,
Big's the one that drinks the most, isn't he?
Kenny does, yeah. But I was like,
Well, his name is Rich.
oh my God.
Danny, that's
It
a
was-
different thing.
Yeah.
Those guys, that's an image. Those
Well,
guys
okay,
are
maybe
rock
so.
stars.
Maybe so. But
Dave
I
Ramsey's
still-
not that.
Okay, but let's what's the typical cost of a dinner at Morton's? $300?
Yeah, not all
He's
of us
got
can go there.
$300 in his pocket.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
300, yeah.
How did we?
But not
How
$3
did,
grand.
how did we manage to find a fun way to discuss commercials and financial planning?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I blame Dave Ramsey.
The disagreement was that I think that he went through bankruptcy and did all of that and built this system, and it worked. And I think he still uses it because he preaches it so like
Much.
he has conviction in what he actually is teaching. I know a lot of people who have conviction in what they teach, and then they do opposite, or they
That's
do whatever.
Discipline.
Most people.
I think he actually still follows the simple plan that he came up with so long ago. That's why the Financial Peace University system, there's 7 steps. They've never changed.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
truly,
same.
I truly hope
it is great.
I truly
Yeah.
hope you get the chance
Yeah.
to ask him that one day. If he
It
really
is-
does.
And he'll
and
lie.
I think-
I think he'll lie.
I think
I
that's.
think you're right. I think he won't be honest with you.
Yep.
I think that's.
But you
definitely-
can call him on it. Hey, what's in your pocket?
Right.
Got any envelopes on you?
That's a-
What's up now,
that's a
Dave
great
Ramsey?
game. We should do that.
I think he would say this. I lived like no one else,
Yeah.
so that today I can live like no one else. Because he says that a lot. And I think what he would say, regardless, is, hey, that is the best system, and I would agree with it. And I followed that system so that today I have financial freedom. I mean, and so I don't think it wouldn't bother me if he didn't carry the envelopes anymore, because I know that one time he did.
Right.
And that's why he's in the position
He
that
believes
he
in
is.
it 'cause
And I
he-
think that's the thing
yeah.
that I want to make sure Jen knew, is that I sure wish that when I was your age, I wish I did it now, that I followed that system, because there is no doubt in my mind that you will be a millionaire if you follow that system.
Sure.
And if you start it when you're young, like your young family, like you guys, then you can continue it. Don't wait, because if you wait until you're in debt, it's so hard.
Hard to dig
Because
yourself
then you
out.
have to do the debt snowball that he'll teach you how to do. And it is a grind, man. When
and-
you've got that big high interest debt.
Right.
ugh.
And I don't know much about Dave Ramsey. I've heard the name.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does or
You
what he
should read
preaches,
his
but I
book.
should read
Yeah.
his book. But where's it at? It's on Freedom 970 and
And
KXL.
KXL.
So it might be a good
He has a
opportunity to check
radio
it
He
out.
cooks a mean burger too.
And
Does
Oh
he?
wait, no, that's Gordon Ramsay.
That's Gordon Ramsay.
what is the name of his book? I always say
Total
got a
Money
bunch of them.
Makeover.
What is it?
Total Money Makeover.
Okay.
It's actually funny. It's if anybody can read. I mean, I'm telling you, that book is simple to understand.
Well, and it's funny you say that because our oldest son, Austin, is turning 22. And we've told him, hey, buddy, we love you, but it's time to spread your wings. You got to go. And so, and now he's like, I can't go. And I'm like, you can go.
Yeah.
I'm like, we did it. You got to do it. And so, Kimmy and I have been trying to like slowly think, I'm like, hey, each week, take $5 from a paycheck, stop eating out lunch every day. I know it's tempting, but don't do it, and take that envelope that we've always done. We have a vacation envelope that we always put money from each paycheck in.
That's great.
And so that way we know we get to do the fun things that we want to do. So
for you.
I'll have him maybe look into that book because that's a great opportunity.
Or sign him up for the class
Yeah.
somewhere.
It's the greatest thing
It's
a
an awesome
parent can do for their kid is to teach them how to manage their money.
Yeah.
My father was literally, and I brag about this all the time, he was literally a bank president. He was a financial guru. He was doing the Dave Ramsey before Dave Ramsey ever talked about it, but he didn't pass that down to me.
Right.
And he, because he was like, it was party time for me. But I did the work and I struggled. I don't want you to. Well,
It's a live and learn situation.
he loved me and I appreciated it. But the best thing he could have done for me is made life a little harder.
Right, right.
Truthfully,
All he did was just the smoke and good looks. That's all he gave.
That's all he gave me. That's all I got out of this deal. And so
He gave
now
him the
to make
curls.
extra money, I got to strip on the weekends.
Right.
Okay,
on
do you
Instagram.
put,
Yeah,
do you
at
put
Tony
those
Russell
ones in an
Radio.
envelope?
Jake, what are you bringing to the table today?
Today, mine is going to be about the scooters. I'm very excited.
Oh,
about the
yes.
Yes.
Round of applause for the
Yes.
Scooters.
There you go, the city of Portland.
Well,
Thank you.
for now anyway.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's not. They're not really coming back. They're coming back for yet another trial period. They didn't feel like the 4 months was enough.
When?
It's, in the spring.
spring. Yeah, it starts soon.
So in the spring, they're going to come back, but it will be for a 1 year this time.
It'll
Oh,
be
good.
interesting to see
trial
if the
period.
price is the same or if it goes up because it's
Yeah, you got to wonder. I don't know.
Now, can I make
It's
a
pretty
plea to the residents of the Portland metropolitan area? Please stop doing stupid things with these. We want to keep
Yes.
them. Stop throwing them in the Willamette. Stop trying to
What happened?
take
That
the
was-
tires off of them and put them on blocks.
The
Stop.
people who were doing that are
Are
not listening
jerks.
to you.
True. They're not.
They were opposed to the
Yeah.
rollout or whatever they were.
Well, good, because they suck.
Yeah.
Could
Right.
you imagine? I don't have, even if I was that mean, I don't think I have the guts to pick up a scooter. That,
Throw it in the water.
I mean, it's, you're
They
stealing. You're stealing it.
Right.
And you're, I mean, just,
They have GPS tracking on them. They have
I
like
don't
alarm
know,
sensors if
but
you
I'm
pick it
just
up.
like-
Ask me how I know.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Took
somebody's
it to
gonna
the
see
gym?
me do this, and I went.
Jake was there when I did it, I think, right?
When you tried to
when I
steal one?
tried, no, we found one, and there was one another block away, so we just started pushing it because I didn't want to like start it and run out of time and money, which isn't very much.
It sounded like an air raid siren went off. Like,
We are calling the police. I'm like, hey, oh my bad.
There's no camera, but
I'm
now
like,
you're
oh, I got my
freaking
envelope
out.
for money for scooters. How do I put it in the scooter?
Okay.
You wonder what the Portland police would do if they heard it and saw like. I mean, they're kind of busy, you know. What I mean?
I
Like,
walk over to you and go,
Put it down.
Put your
all right,
helmet
my
on.
bad.
Put it down,
But it's
please.
funny though because I did see the news last night, and my daughter Alexis was like, "Dad, I want to ride one of those this summer," because she didn't get to.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, they're great! I loved it. We did all this stuff." And she's like, "When?" So I explained it to her, and she was like, "Okay, now I definitely want to go ride one."
Oh, they're a blast.
Oh
they're
yeah,
fun.
they're great.
They're really cool.
Smart.
I like
Yeah,
it.
ever since the pilot program ended, Jake hasn't been owning up on his Chinese bet.
I feel like, how are we going to get to Safeway?
Double or nothing.
It is hard to get to Safeway
How you
now
feeling
that we
about
don't
those
have
pads?
those.
Yeah.
But
Double
it did,
down.
It did make it really easy because one time we went to sushi over in like the Pearl.
That was not. That's quite a jaunt to get over there.
It
to
was
Pearl.
fun.
We did it, though.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
It was
Wait,
great.
Was that a look of disapproval for that double down idea, or is that
No, it's great. If the Pats are in it again this year, I'll make the bet again.
I'm gonna wait till next week, I guess. Right?
No,
We'll
they're
see.
not going to be there.
Come on.
Oh, what's that, Danny?
They're not going to be there.
Are you
Shoot,
counting out
think
Tom
of-
Brady?
Oh, let's bet
Yes.
on
I'm not
Sunday.
going there again.
No,
Let's bet
it's
on
the
Sunday's
Chiefs, right?
game.
It's the
Chiefs.
Chiefs. And who's the other two teams?
Patriots.
Pa-
It's Chiefs and
No, no, no,
Patriots.
the other side.
Rams and Saints.
Rams and Saints.
It's going to be the Saints
And
and
Chiefs.
the
Pats.
Chiefs.
Saints and Chiefs are going
Saints
to
and
the Super Bowl.
Chiefs.
Nope.
Oh man, for
Saints
some reason I'm wanting
and
the I'm
Chiefs.
kind of liking the Rams. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
say
why.
Rams and Chiefs.
No, Saints
Although
and
that
Chiefs.
what is that kid from Kansas City, Malone?
Mahomes.
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 Yeah.
Holy
He's
cow.
great.
He's got an arm.
He's great.
I'll
He's
tell you what.
probably almost the greatest of all. Oh, wait, no.
No,
That's a
wait,
good. That's a good
hey,
pairing, though.
hey,
The Chiefs and
if-
Patriots are interesting.
If he does not get injured, if he stays
Yeah.
healthy for the next 5 to 10 years,
No.
that kid
In
is.
fact, I've got a funny meme
He's-
for
he's
you, Jake,
unbelievable, yeah.
on that one.
Yeah, let's check out this funny meme of yours.
I will.
Chiefs fan, Danny.
I will. I
Are you
will.
a Chiefs fan, Danny?
I
He
have
is.
two,
That's his own
I,
team.
Sorry, I didn't.
I like to consider myself as special. I have two teams. I have an NFC
I have
team
two,
and an
too.
AFC team.
Yeah, I think our Saturday night guy beat up was making fun of you. Of that
Yeah, he
one.
was, and that's where I'm going to get
But he
this
does the
meme.
same. He's a
Right.
Broncos
Oh, yeah.
fan.
Of
and
course he does.
an
Yes.
Eagles fan.
Every team I like.
Hey, by the way,
I
how
just-
are those Broncos and Eagles doing, Dub?
Oh, yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, and then he's going to say, what about the Texans?
He's
Yeah,
not,
at
he's
least
not,
one of my
he's
teams
not
still in
listening to this. He's too busy on Instagram looking at all the girls.
yeah.
Whoa. Shots fired.
yes.
This got weird.
Yeah,
Sorry, dude.
I have to say that I'm definitely going to go with the Chiefs.
You're having
and
to
the
dig a long
Saints.
way to find that funny
Oh,
meme, Danny.
I gotta find it right here.
Hey,
well,
let
it
me-
was.
there's a faster way to do that.
He's trying to get through all the
He
shirtless
did one.
selfies.
Yeah,
I
there's a
sent
bunch
him.
of other ones in here. He did one that was very, very funny. It basically showed us a picture of the United States, and it said every state voting for
Oh,
the
I saw
Chiefs
that.
to
Yeah.
win,
And then,
and
like-
it was a Kansas City mark. Yeah,
Then Massachusetts.
it was very funny.
Yeah.
New England.
Yeah.
In New England.
Yeah.
Kansas City would be
I
fun.
want to see the Pats Saints because there's no loser in that game for me. It's a
Oh,
lot.
really?
Everybody's going to be voting
Yeah.
for the Saints in that thing. But I like the Saints. I think they're cool. I dig their whole vibe. I dig their whole city. I think that would be.
I agree with all of
I want to
that.
see the Pats win, but
I just don't see it, man. The Rams are good.
I have
The Rams are
trouble.
good.
So are we
I
all
love Drew
saying
Brees
though
so much.
that the
That's my
Chiefs are
problem.
going to beat the
Wait,
Patriots?
who?
Are we
Everybody
all in
except for me.
agreement?
Okay, anybody who thinks that the Patriots are going to beat the Chiefs this week, say aye.
aye.
Okay, so yes.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
unanimous
Hey,
on that.
Okay.
I was the biggest New England hater forever, and I'm shutting my mouth now because
You can't count them out.
Don't count that team out.
after
No,
last
you do
game,
not count them
No.
out.
you know, I'm
Definitely
looking
don't
at
count
this
them out.
gun.
Well, I'm
just,
not counting
Except for
out
that
the
one year in the
Chiefs.
Super Bowl.
No,
No, the
I-
Chiefs are the favored. Like they're
That's who I want to
literally-
win. I want the Chiefs to win.
Pats are the underdog bet, but you don't.
You
bet
know
against
why
that
I
Those
team.
Patriots are
Really?
lucky the
Tough.
Texans didn't make it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know why I really
like
want
seeing
him to
Texans. That would've
lose?
been
Why
fun.
I want Tom Brady to lose?
Why?
Because I want another meme out of it. Like
Oh,
I want
yeah.
he classically the media always catches him making some kind of face.
Right.
He
and then
has the worst helmet hair, too.
I just really
Danny,
want
no
another one of
comment.
those like
I don't.
I'm not saying anything.
I don't think that man can be ugly. I don't
Yeah, we should talk about that. I don't think Tom Brady's like that hot.
He does this weird
Really?
fade thing with his. I'm probably to keep the hair out of his face when he's playing or whatever, but it's like it's
can
almost
catch
like a
him in,
mullet.
you see him in a Tag Heuer ad, he's going to look good, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think
They
like
can
in
make him
general,
look good.
I don't think he's more than a 8. I mean,
no, he married up for
I'll
sure.
take an. I'd love to be an 8.
There was nothing wrong with
most
marrying
people
up.
would.
I'll take it. I'll take a 6.5.
I did.
I did.
We're rounding up now, Tony.
You know,
huh?
they said I'm your typical online dater. I'm a 6 looking for a 10. That's what I always tell them.
Well, what is our favorite 6.5 bringing to the table today?
Well, ironic. Do we have time for it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, mine's real quick.
Facebook, baby, never ends.
Here's what's funny
In
is
the internet.
like I'm really truly not dating anyone. Like I get accused of it all the time. I mean, I date, but I don't have anyone that seems interested enough in me that wants to like date.
Because your confidence.
But I do have a lack of confidence because I suck. And so
only
I'm
a
joking.
joke.
I'm totally joking.
That's fair.
But I always wonder because like it's been 2 years now, a year since the divorce, 2 years separation. So I'm thinking, all right,
feel you.
eventually I'm going to meet someone, right? I mean, it's going to happen, right?
Right.
Okay.
Sometime.
Give
Oh,
me some
yeah, guys,
encouragement.
right?
Yeah.
Someday someone is going to want to put up with me.
Click
and
like if you want to date Tony right now.
No.
Or swipe. No, it's Facebook. You can't
Yeah,
swipe.
I have not had a lot of luck with the women on Facebook that are wanting to go out. But anyway, let's leave it at that. How long do you date someone before you introduce them to your kids? Because that seems like terrifying to me. Like the thought of, especially my daughters, because you know how daughters are. They're kind of protective
Oh,
of
of
daddy,
course.
right?
Yep.
My son will be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But it's like, this is somebody I'm dating. Just picturing that in my head and introducing them.
Well, you have older kids too. I don't.
Oh, yeah, they're
I don't
18 and
think there is
23.
a set time. I think you do it when you're ready, but you need to take your time.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's the way to gauge it.
Yeah, most people I've talked to said that they regretted wholeheartedly too early. Like,
oh yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I would say if haven't been dating for obviously 15 years.
right.
But literally a number typically that would stick in my head would say at least 6 months consistently
Okay, good.
together.
That's what I was thinking too.
I don't know how many of my mom's boyfriends I met, but I feel like I met them all. I felt like there was a lot.
Yeah.
And I always thought they were great. I always
Yeah.
thought they were cool guys. I come from a very, like, what I feel like is a very healthy divorced family.
How old were you when you were
6.
6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, I can definitely remember fondly several of them.
Well, that's cool.
Of my mom's boyfriends. They always treated me always great. It was
Yeah.
always really nice. And I understood that my mom and dad didn't get along. That wasn't a big issue for me. They
Right.
seemed happier apart, and thank God they divorced.
Yeah, that's bad when they don't.
They
get
were better
along.
off friends.
Yeah.
Just they
Yeah.
weren't compatible together, and because of their divorce, I have now siblings that I would not have had
Mm-hmm.
had it not happened.
Right.
And I missed my dad, but I never felt anything less than love from any of them or anything like that. So I always felt like it was a very good thing. And on that note, as long as you guys are not, and my parents always got along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
we do.
It wasn't a problem.
We're fine. Yeah, we're fine.
I didn't mind meeting all the guys that my
Yeah.
mom was dating. I
Right.
always thought they were cool. You should always dated cool guys.
Yeah.
How old were you
That's
again?
cool.
6?
6.
So, but how long do you remember going back to that age? Because like at 6, they're gonna be cool to you because they're like, hey, little buddy, what's going on?
All the way.
But like
all
when
the
you
way through.
were 16, it could be a different story because some people might look
I
at
like
it
the
as
guy that my mom dated when I was 16.
Maybe it's a personality thing too. Maybe you got to
might
feel
be.
that. Like you got to look at your kids.
Well,
Right.
the other part
and
of that
say
too.
this. How are they going to be like Jake? You know, obviously
Sure.
was very like mature and accepting of it.
Every kid's different too.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's the other thing, Tony, is take your time, and when you're ready. But before you do, ask your kids if they're ready. When your kids are
Yeah.
old enough to ask that, I mean, yours are. So that's also
Right.
needs to be part of that
Yeah.
equation.
Because when
they
Kim
might
and I
not
got
be ready.
together,
Yeah.
when I first met Austin and Alexis, it literally was a good 6, maybe 7 months of us seriously dating. You know,
And that's what I want. When like if I start dating someone, I don't want to meet their kids very soon because
Right.
I love kids, so I know what's going to happen.
You're gonna get
I'm going to
attached.
get attached to the kids before
Sure.
I get attached to the
Right.
lady. You know.
Right.
And so I'm real cautious about that too. And I'm always kind of leery of someone who says, you know, it's date 1 and date 2. They're like, hey, want to meet my kids? You know, it's like,
yeah, you're like, not yet.
all right. Unless
that-
they're older.
that
Unless they're a
brings up-
lot older. If they're older kids.
An interesting question, Danny. When you're hollering for your daughter in the house, your Alexa devices go off?
Yes.
That's got to be annoying.
It's a pain in the ass.
Did you guys change the name?
No, and I keep meaning to, and I have to learn how to do it. I have to YouTube it because I'd be like, Alexis, and then I get this. bloop.
Yeah.
What? And I'm like,
My brother's son's name is Elijah, and it's close enough, so they had to change it.
yeah.
Oh,
it's
wow.
not.
You
I didn't know
can
you could
change your
change it. How do you
Alexa's name.
change it?
You only have 4 options. You can set it to Alexa, which is what comes stock. You
Uh-huh.
can set it to Amazon. You can set it to Echo, or you can set it to computer. Is the 4th one.
Oh,
okay.
smart,
Oh.
smart.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine have the Google one. So it's Hey Google. Hey
Right.
Google.
That's
No,
different.
If you name your kid
Do you-
Google, though, you got other
I know,
issues.
way
Yeah.
off the subject. I'm
Unless you're
sorry.
Jeff Bezos.
Do you have you guys used that one versus?
I have the
No.
I have the Google Home. I have two.
I kind of. It seemed better than Alexa.
It can do more things functionality
Really?
wise. Yeah.
Seemed to understand me better. Like it might have some southern roots, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody knows that the Silicon Valley real deep into
Yeah,
Southern
deep into
culture.
the mines
Yeah,
of
they're
West
in the
Virginia.
they're in the southern part of the Bay Area.
It's like, hey Alexa, what time is it? Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about half past supper.
Yeah.
He's like, hey Alexa, call Jen. I'm sorry, I cannot call a bottle of alcohol.
Right.
Jen, would
so
you like?
To recap, take your time when it comes to your boyfriend or girlfriend meeting
Yeah.
the kids. Don't name your kids Alexis and Alexa anymore.
Yes.
It's just not appropriate
Nope.
in this
not a
day
good
and
move.
age.
Or Google.
Keep cash and money. Keep cash in envelopes, right?
Yes.
Don't be an idiot on the scooter.
Don't be an idiot on
Yes,
the
that's a
scooter,
big one.
please.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it for all of us who actually enjoy it. And
Enjoy
those
it.
146 people that ended up in the yard this year.
Yeah.
guys,
Was there?
talking to
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Go Patriots and/or Chiefs.
Go Pats.
Chiefs.
Go Pats.
Go
Don't
Chiefs.
lose your wallet.
Go Pats.
Don't lose your wallet. And if you're
If
complaining,
you do lose it, find Jen. She'll find it for you.
Yeah, she's good.
and if you're one of those people complaining about the Gillette commercial, shh,
Quiet.
thing.
you're
All
crazy.
right, we
Sean.
got to go because I want Jen to see if she can find my debit card in my car.
That thing down like a bloodhound.
Oh, it must be a weekday.
I'll pay you. I got $1 left out of my paycheck.
We'll talk to you next week, 10:30 Wednesdays
See ya.
right here.